live. Thanks everybody for jumping on tonight. Appreciate it. Hopefully you had an amazing week so far and things are going well. We're already into November, which is unreal to me, but yeah, we're wrapping up 2025, soon to be 2026. So that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into this because, hey, we've got some great training to do tonight, and then we'll go ahead and get into the overview. So welcome to Kaizen Coaching. My name is Jeremy Jenkins, and I am super excited to share with you tonight the topic of how to overcome objections when dealing with your MLM business or relationship marketing or whatever you want to call it. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So here's 3 weird ways you can handle MLM objections that actually work. Okay, so some of the MLM sponsoring secrets that I've learned over the years, and if you're in on my team, you may have heard some of these before, right? MLM recruiting doesn't have to be stressful. In fact, the more you see it like a game, the better you're going to do. Okay. It's just gamify everything. It makes it easier. It makes it funner. And so if we take a look at these 3 weird ways to handle MLM objections, we're going to have some funner ways to work with prospects, right? So the first one that we all run into is the question of price, right? Well, how much is it? Okay, so this objection is, of course, you're going to get this from pretty much everyone, right? And everyone's got a little bit of skepticism in them, and yeah, they're going to, probably want to know the pricing before they come to a meeting or before they see a presentation or anything like that. And so, of course, we all know if you share the cost before they see a presentation, then they're going to just immediately go look at their finances, and they're going to just throw away, and okay, nope, I can't afford it already. They're going to prejudge it before they know what they're getting, right? And so 99% of the time, after they look at how much they have to spend on something, they're going to tell you they can't afford it, right? But in the end, it's really all about value, right? Because my experience is, if you could say, well, if I'm selling you a Ferrari and I'm going to literally sell it to you for $1,000, you're going to figure out a way to get it. Why? Because you know that Ferrari is worth way more than $1,000, right? Most likely, unless it's it's been through a fire or something. But it's like, oh, the value, right? And so it really all comes down to value. But here's what I try and say. There are several different options to join our business, but I would feel more comfortable if you watched a presentation, as it may not be a fit for you, and then you would not spend a dime anyway, right? So why this works is because it creates curiosity, okay? Maybe they're wondering, oh, well, why wouldn't it be a fit for them, right? And maybe, they're questioning what you actually think about them or something. So you have to, it's a posturing thing, of course, right? You just show, hey, I've got the cookie here. I've got the posture. I know what my opportunity, what I'm going to share is worth. And you need to hear the whole thing to really understand the value, right? The value of what it is. So that's the first thing, right? If cost comes up, just say, you know what? Lots of different ways to join. So just come, see what it's all about, see where you fit, okay? And if it's not for you, then you don't have to spend a dime anyway, right? It's not going to cost you anything because you can say no. So just come see what it's all about, and see what the different options are and which one might be the best fit for you, okay? So that's handling it with posture, that's handling it with confidence, that's handling it with the ability to create that curiosity. So they're maybe going, oh, okay, yeah, I do want to see what the different price points might be, right? So that's a great one. Okay, now here's the second one. The second one is I need to do my research, right? And yeah, okay, this has a slight takeaway edge to it, kind of to slow you down in the closing process, right? So, rule of thumb is when someone does a takeaway from you, you take away a little harder, right? So, I never mind this specific objection. The wrong thing here to do is to try and hard close, right? And tell them not to worry about the research and just to, get it now because they're going to miss out and all that. No. The best way to handle this is to say, you know what? I totally understand. We have well over 100 videos that you can go watch and, just take your time. It might take 3 to 6 months to go through everything, and that's fine, right? I just don't want, I just don't want you to join something that you're not familiar with, of course, and just, cross your fingers, hope it's going to work and all that. No, I want you to be educated, right? So if you do decide to join, then you'll know that this company is the one for you because, you saw it, right? I want you to be sure yourself, because after that, I'm going to spend time training you. I'm going to work with you. And so I want you to be sure. I want you to understand what you're getting into. I don't want you to just do it just because. Okay. And the reason this works is because they're not used to someone of high posture speaking to them this way, right? They're used to the sniveling network marketers that beg them and say pretty please with snickerdoodles on top just to try and get them to join, right? And and some people, honestly, they're just contrarians. They'll do the exact opposite of whatever you suggest anyway. And, I've had a lot of people, that actually do join after I just kind of say, hey, you know what? Yeah, watch the videos, study it, do what you got to do your research, right? Ask your questions, whatever it is. And when they realize that I'm pretty confident and that I'm not just trying to get the sale and that I'm not just trying to pressure them into something, that I actually care about what it is I'm offering and that I'm excited about it and everything, then they're going to realize that, oh, I have the cookie, right? I have the opportunity. I have something special. And even if they say no in the moment, I'm going to be able to, in the future, they're going to be able to do it. They're going to be able to be like, oh, ooh, what is it that he's got that I don't, that I'm missing out on, right? And there's going to be a little bit of that fear of loss. Okay. And then the third objection, right, that you typically get is, I'm not a salesperson, right? And, and people think that it's all about sales. And so, why do I want to join something when I don't do sales? I'm not a salesperson. But you know what? It's okay. In fact, a lot of times when people are salespeople, then you have to kind of like retrain them, right? Because this is not about who you can close, but how you can teach and train. This is not about selling someone a product. It's about selling someone the idea that they can do it. That it's a huge distinction, okay? Because we're not selling in this type of business, right? The super salesperson is just going to try and close people anyway and move on to the next person and then not do any kind of follow-up, not do any kind of training, not do any kind of, working with the people they bring in, right? No duplication, okay? And that doesn't work. What we want is duplication. We want something that will continue to grow, that, 3 turn into 6, into 9, into 12, into 15, into so on, right? As it grows. And so here's what you can actually say. You know what? It's great that you're not a salesperson. That means I don't have to detrain you, okay? This is about following our training, not bringing your skill set to the table. So whether you're a salesperson or not, it's not really the question. The question is, are you coachable, right? Do you want to do this? Do you want to learn new things? And if that's the case, then we can work with you and we can show you step by step how to do the business, right? Why does this work? Well, because most people think that anything that has commissions behind it is a hardcore sales program, right? Especially people that have always worked for others at an hourly wage or a salary or something like that. Most highly trained salespeople end up failing at this industry because they don't understand it's about making their people successful, not just them being a superstar. So people that raise this MLM objection are typically usually caring people, and what they understand is about helping those people versus closing them, right? And once they understand that, then they can see it as something more viable, right? So don't let people with some of these simple MLM objections stress you out. Get the upper hand by being postured, right? That's the key thing. Postured and powerful and sure of yourself. You're doing your research with your upline or your company, whatever it is you're doing, just make sure you know so that when you talk to people, they can hear it in your voice. They can tell that, oh, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. They're sure of it. They're excited about it, because in the end, it's not the words, it's the music, right? I like to say that. If people they may not understand exactly what you're saying, but they will catch the enthusiasm, right? And they'll feel, okay, this is something I don't want to miss out on. I want to be part of it. And if we can do that, right? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you can answer every question or answer every objection that comes up. Bottom line is, I'm excited. I'm having a great time with this. This is fun. I can see the future with this, and it's going to help me, and I think it can help you. So let's, lock arms. Let's do this thing together. And then those objections just kind of, melt away, right? Because of the enthusiasm and the excitement in your voice. So, but those are some ideas. They really come down to this, this whole thing of, just eliminating the underlying assumptions and being sure of yourself and showing people, hey, we have something special, and you're going to miss out if you don't jump on with this. So if you decide to do it or not, hey, that's on you. I'm doing this with or without you. So, but I'd love to work with you, and let's go. All right. So those are the 3 weird ways to handle MLM objections. You can kind of adapt that to most any other thing in the same way, as it really just comes down to being confident, being sure, and having that posture. All right. Okay. So that was the training for tonight from Kaizen Coaching. So for those that want to stick around, we'll go ahead and now dive into what we are so excited about. A lot of us that are on this call tonight, they're excited about the Cirrus Network's opportunity, because that's where we are currently so excited, right? Just like I was talking about in the training, this idea of, we have the cookie, we have something that is truly universal, something that truly can benefit the masses, that can truly have a positive social impact for the people. It is Cirrus Networks. And we're going to go ahead and dive into that right now. So let me pull up the presentation for Cirrus, and here we go. All right. So, of course, we always want to do the disclaimer, because we never want to get in trouble, right? We're not letting people know that, of course, there are no guarantees in any opportunity. Every business opportunity is just that. It's business, and businesses have ups and downs, and and different things go on. And so it's a matter of personal passion and talent and skills and all those things. But in the end, you can be successful as long as you put your mind to it and put some effort into it. But we are not guaranteeing anything. This is not a job. This is not an investment. This is not something you just set on on the back burner and have it make money for you with no anything going on your part. You've got to be active and participate, right? But if you do so, then honestly, I don't think there's a better opportunity out there than what we're going to show you tonight. So let's dive in, because this is all about the future. The world's changing. It's decentralizing. Okay. That's an interesting word, right? Decentralizing. People are starting to realize that they can reject big tech and they can take the power back into their own hands, right? So all the big companies, tech giants, from Google to Apple to Amazon, you name it, right? Microsoft, that's what they do. They profit from all of our information, all our data, and they silence voices, right? If you want to go out and say something, a lot of times you can get banned, you can get kicked off of platforms and stuff, but they have zero problem taking your information, what you like, what you're commenting on, who you're following, all that stuff, and selling it, right? Making money off of it. So we're now going into this new fair, transparent, and decentralized community. Okay, that's what's happening, and we're seeing it all over the place. It's really, really fascinating. And with Cirrus Networks, we get to be part of that. Okay, we get to monetize that. So why does decentralization matter? Well, just think about the last 15, 20 years, what's happened with companies like Uber and Turo and Lyft and Fiverr and DoorDash and Airbnb, where thanks to technology, you don't have to depend on these big giant companies for everything. You can participate on your own, right? You don't have to go work for a taxi company. If you have your own car, you can just sign up with Uber, have your phone, and you can go start driving and picking people up, giving them rides, and just on your own time, right? You just clock in and out whenever you want. Same thing with Turo. If you have an extra car laying around, you can go and just make that available to people. And the app connects you with people that need a ride, right? Or connects you with people that need a car, and you just happen to have one. Airbnb, same thing, right? You don't have to go buy a hotel chain or anything, right? Or be a franchise. You can, if you have to have an extra spare bedroom or a second property, whatever, you can go list that. And now you're competing against the big companies, right? The hotel chains and stuff. So that's huge. That brings the power back to the little guy. But we can't necessarily be owners of those companies, right? So when you're driving for Uber, you don't own a piece of Uber, okay? When you rent out your property on Airbnb, you don't own Airbnb. You don't have a piece of it. You're not making money other than what the guest pays, right, for the nights they stay, but you're not getting anything else from that because you don't have ownership, okay? Through blockchain integration, we actually can. We can have ownership in an entire ecosystem that allows us to be what we call digital landlords. And we get to now benefit from participation in the community, okay? So we're going to replace big tech centralized grip on all the facets of our lives, and we're actually now going to benefit from everything that's going on in the community. It's really cool. So being a digital landlord is that. So like when you own property, right, then let's say you owned a gas station. Okay, well, guess what? Now all the transactions that are happening at that gas station, you get a piece of that because you are the landlord. Or if you own an apartment building, right, you get a piece of all the rent money coming in. Okay, so it's the same concept. You get to have digital landlordship over this blockchain community. And the more ownership you have, the more rewards you get. It's super amazing. So how do you participate? How do you become a digital landlord? Well, it's done through the blockchain called Nodi, okay, GNODI, which is gnosis, which is the Greek word for knowledge. And then, of course, node, right? So a node is what powers a blockchain. So they combined that, made a play on words and called it Nodi. So what we do is we purchase nodes, okay, which power the blockchain, and we are now participating with AI integrated products for the ability to now share in all of that, okay, with rewards for our participation in this online community that's powered by all of us together through our nodes, right? So what does that look like? Well, think of it kind of like a generator, right? So your personal generator is what makes the blockchain work. So each individual node is a generator that gives power to the blockchain. And hosting that node is what fuels it, right? So you're putting in your little piece of it, paying a little monthly fee to power the blockchain. And by doing so, you now own a piece of that blockchain, and you now get to be rewarded for everything that happens, all the transactions, all the things that are happening on the blockchain. It's really pretty cool, okay? Because it's now a community build, and you get to, even if somebody in Africa or somebody in Australia or somebody in Malaysia starts to participate and starts to build it out and everything, guess what? You still get rewarded for that, right? Because you're a part owner, okay, through owning a node. It's really, really cool. So you actually now get rewards and benefits, right? So how do you do it? Well, contribution through your active contribution by hosting that node. Yes, you're now securing the blockchain. Your node is doing verifications. It's doing storing the information of the transactions, all those kinds of things. But also, you're now doing participation, because not only do you own a node, but now you're also having a voice, because you get to go in and vote. You have influence in government or governance. Okay. So you get to say, hey, what products and services and things we're going to have in our blockchain. You get to vote on the direction, what, how we want to do it in the future, all those kinds of things. Okay. So for participating and actively contributing, you now get to earn rewards for that participation. So think of it like this. A lot of times when people think of blockchains and cryptocurrencies and all that kind of stuff, they're thinking about the coin or the token, right? So you think, oh, it's Bitcoin or it's Ethereum or it's one of these, thousands of other altcoins that are out there. But we're not talking about coins specifically, right? We're not talking about, hey, let's go buy a whole bunch of coins. And no, what we're saying is, hey, if we could own the producer of the coins, right? What if we could own the goose that lays the golden eggs and not just go buy a whole bunch of eggs? That's what we're offering with nodes. So node is like buying the golden goose, okay? That's going to then give you rewards every single day, pretty much for the rest of your life. It's really, really awesome, okay? So that's a great way to think of it. You could also think of it just like I gave that example of owning a building. So you own an apartment building, and then that apartment building can produce rent money, right? So it's something that produces. It's an asset. Okay, it's an asset that produces the golden eggs. It's not just going and buying golden eggs. So let's take it to where you can actually participate from so many different levels, right? You can own the full node, right? It's like owning a full apartment building with 10 units in there maybe, or you could own a half node, right? Where you maybe own half the building, okay? Getting half the rent, or you could own a quarter node where you own just, 1/4 of the building, or you could own a mini node, which is like 1/10, okay? 1/10 of the building. So you get the respective amount of daily rewards, but the more nodes you own, the more you're going to get, okay? Because every node pays out a certain percentage. Full nodes pay out 100% of the allocation on a daily basis of all the rewards. And there's a set amount that get paid out every single day. And then, of course, the amount diminishes over time, just like with Bitcoin, right? With Bitcoin, in the beginning, there were millions Bitcoins given out, and now it's really hard to get them. And because of that scarcity, that's what makes them so valuable, right? And it's the same thing right now with Nodi nodes. They're spitting out a lot of rewards, but over time, that's going to continue to diminish. And so there's never been a better time to get a node than right now, when it's paying out the most rewards that it will ever pay out. Okay. Now, maybe you're thinking to yourself, you know what, Jeremy, that's a bit too much for me right now. I can't afford $1,000 or $500 or 250. That's okay, because the Cirrus Networks allows people to participate where they best fit in. And so if a full-on node, if you can't really afford the golden goose right now, that's okay. You can actually participate with what we call micronodes. So micronodes are what actually distinguish us from a lot of the other blockchain projects out there. There's several of them, right? Hundreds, if not more. And most of them sell nodes, right? That's all they do. They sell nodes. Usually it's $1,000 nodes. I don't know of any really that sell, half nodes or quarter nodes. Cirrus is the only one that I know of that does that, or even, mini nodes at $100. But we definitely don't have anybody offering X1 micro nodes. And what's so cool about these is that they're based on subscription services that we pay anyway, right? For example, cloud storage. A lot of people pay Google Drive or Dropbox or maybe iCloud, right? Amazon storage. There's a lot of different cloud storage type products where you can save your pictures and back up your data and all that kind of stuff. And with Cirrus Safe through Cirrus Networks for just $10 a month, you get 6 terabytes of storage, and it's all protected and it's all safe from prying eyes and all those things. It's fully encrypted and everything. But what's super cool about that is that same $10 a month that you might be paying somewhere else, with Cirrus Safe, you're getting about 3 times as much storage, and you're getting daily rewards, because that subscription is now a mini micro node that pays out golden eggs, right? Same thing with Meetin product. So this room that we're in right now, right? This meeting room where you're watching me do this presentation is similar to Zoom, okay? And in the past, I would pay $20 a month to Zoom so I could have 100 people in my room and record my meetings and all that stuff. Well, I no longer pay that $20 to Zoom, because now I'd rather pay that $20 here to Meetin, Nodi powered, where I get 300 people in my room and I get 100 gigabytes of storage for my recordings and everything. And I get all kinds of really cool features that Zoom doesn't offer, right? So for the exact same price, I'm getting way more value. And on top of it, every single day, my $20 a month that I pay for my meeting room is paying me out 40 rewards, 40 cryptos every single day, just for having the subscription. And on top of that, I'm getting rewards just for hosting this meeting, right? For the activity of hosting this meeting. And then, of course, very soon we'll have other types of micronodes like travel portal, like cell phone service, like streaming services. And my favorite that's coming is our card service, which is going to be the ability to go shopping, spend actual dollars at Walmart or online or whatever, and earning rewards on every single purchase that I do, and earning actual cash back, actual dollars, money, right, from all of the transactions. And if I invite other people, friends and family to be part of it, I get to earn some actual money from everything that they buy as well. So lots of cool things coming with the micro nodes, and that is the bread and butter of what this is all about, okay? Because really, that is the backbone. Cirrus Networks emphasizes the importance of purpose-driven blockchain based on the consumption of pure utility to the power of the blockchain. These subscriptions are the backbone. They are what make it all work. They are when people say, well, what gives value to the rewards? What gives value to the token, right? Well, it's because people are actually buying real products and services on our blockchain, right? They're not just throwing money at it to see if it decides to go up in value. No, we actually have real commerce going on right now based on services, in the future based on tangible physical products. That's where this is going. It's going to be super, super fun. All right. So to reiterate, we have the triple advantage with our products and services. It's better products, okay? They got way more features, better pricing, and better rewards. Every single product is now a X1 micronode that's paying out rewards every single night. Okay, so beyond that, if you want to participate in this as a business and you want to be able to share this with others and earn commissions, right? Earn actual dollars on sharing just with friends and family in your community, guess what? You can do that and actually earn 20% on whatever people purchase that you bring to the table. So you can choose to be either an affiliate or an associate. Okay, what's the difference? Well, an affiliate, you join for free, completely for free. You can join, you sign up, get your account, get yourself a link, and now you can go and share the Meetin product or the Cirrus Safe product, or in the future, the card product, or the travel, or whatever it is that comes out in the future, right? They're actually looking at over 50 different products that they are bringing to the table that we'll see over the next 6 months to a year, right? So many different ways to participate in this. And you just share it with anybody at all, and they decide to sign up for Meetin, or they sign up for the travel, or they sign up for the card. And guess what? You're now going to earn 20% every single month. Every single month. So somebody gets on Meetin, right? They're paying that $20 a month for the Meetin product. Guess what? You get to make $4, right? 20% of 20, $4 every single month. So you just kind of add that all up. Okay, it's a now true residual income on every subscription, right? No matter what it is, you're making 20% on that. And then if you actually go and start to build out your team, right? And you've, people that say, hey, you know what, I want to do this too. And I want to share it with other people. And then it kind of starts to go viral, right? Starts to grow. Guess what? You can then become what we call an associate. And not only do you earn the 20% on people that you've brought to the table, but you can also earn up to 5% on people that they bring, and then the people that they bring, right? So grandparents, parents, kids, grandkids, so on, right? Like six levels deep of community, and it multiplies, right? 3, 9, 12, 15, it gets into the hundreds and then thousands. And now you get to earn a little bit on all of that as an associate. Okay. So really, really fun for those that want to do it that way. Completely optional though. No pressure. All right. So it all comes down to timing. The whole world is becoming decentralized. It's happening with us or without us, right? All the top people out there, all the Warren Buffetts and the just everybody that's in finance right now is understanding that this is the direction the world's going. It's all going towards blockchain. It's all going on chain, like they like to say. And we are pioneering in this by offering digital landlordship, where you can actually own a piece of the blockchain and benefit from it. Okay. 93% of the world has yet to even know what blockchain is. Okay. So we are lucky enough to be part of that 7% that knows what it is. And not only do we know what it is, but we actually get to own a piece of it. So our timing could not be better. So your job is just figure out, how much do you want to own? Do you want to own, a full node worth of landlordship, multiple full nodes? You can own up to 100 of them. You want to get a half one, a quarter one, a mini one, or do you just want to start out, test the waters with one of these micro nodes, right? Maybe get the Meetin product, maybe get the Cirrus Safe product, wherever it is that you feel most comfortable. No pressure, but definitely take advantage, because this is when the most rewards are going to get paid out in all the history of Cirrus Networks. The future is now. So it really is just a matter of securing your place, getting involved, watching as this starts to expand and grow. We've already got a presence in several countries all across the world: Latin America, Asia, Europe, Australia. There are people everywhere starting to stake their claim, starting to grab a piece of this blockchain, having some ownership, getting daily rewards for it, and contributing to this decentralized future. So please get back to everyone. I invited you to watch this presentation, find out how you can join for free. Like I said, it's free to join Cirrus. And then from there, you can pick which kind of node you want to get, from $10 a month, the subscription of Cirrus Safe, or just a one-time purchase of a node. It's up to you, but definitely take advantage, because you don't want to get left behind. And it's pretty much a no-brainer, right? If you were paying for streaming or travel or anything anyway, why not get rewarded for it? Right. All right. With that, we'll go ahead and call it a night. Thanks so much for jumping on with me. Hopefully that was helpful. And we will see you all on the next presentation. Thanks, guys.